Hello again, and we are looking ahead now to what's going to be happening in May, which is a big month for FoKAB, because at the beginning of May we have our original King Alfred running day on Bank Holiday Monday, 5th of May, all day in Winchester Broadway and at St Catherine's Park and Ride. And at the other end of the month, on the very last Saturday of May, 31st of May, we're celebrating the fact that it's exactly 40 years on that day since the first meeting of the Friends of King Alfred Buses. So we're 40 years old and we're having a bit of a birthday party. Thinking about our running day first of all, it's called the original King Alfred running day, and the reason for that is that we've been doing these big events since 1983. It's amazing. More than 40 years. They were started before FoKAB began in 1985. So it's the usual mix of services around the city and to the various destinations that you could have reached on a bus from Winchester in the 1960s, and indeed in one case on the 161 in the 1950s. The 161 goes to Farley. We've got our own King Alfred fleet running. Everything that can run will run, and hopefully that includes the Leyland Titan HOR 811, which has been repaired and still throws the occasional hissy fit. But with a bit of luck, we're going to see 811 inaugurated at 10 o'clock in the morning on the 5th of May by the Mayor of Winchester, and running its first, as it were, public trip, number one, to Wythall and Colden Common. So that's a very important milestone for us, because that project's been around for us since 1990, so 35 years in the making. And the bus itself, of course, is 75 years old, which itself quite a surprise, really. So the running day is all day. We are selling programmes, £15. Sounds like a lot of money until you think that that gives you the information for a whole day's riding, and indeed as many people as want to can ride, because all the journeys are free, and a whole family's come with us, and we're delighted to see them. So hopefully the sun will shine as it is today, and we'll all have a great day on Bank Holiday Monday, 5th of May in Winchester. So thinking now towards the end of the month and our birthday celebrations, we are moving the focus really from the Broadway to Winchester Cattle Market, just off Andover Road. If you're coming in a car, you access via Worthy Lane. If you're walking into the site, it's off Andover Road, opposite Tesco's. And we have the higher part of the car park roped off for us by Winchester City Council, and we're going to be arranging our collection in a circular fashion around a sort of stage, if you like, in the middle, and with luck and a fair wind we'll have every vehicle that we have, with the exception of the Leyland Olympic, which of course isn't playing at the moment for reasons that most of you will know, resulting from the terrible fire in December 2023. But everything else will be there, and between 11 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon the fleet will be on display for people to come and have a look. And there will be open-top bus running to and from the Broadway to give a connection, and the Mayor will be coming at noon to help us to celebrate 40 years of bus and coach preservation in Winchester by the Friends of King Alfred Buses. So it's an open invitation to everybody to come along to both those events, to the FoKAB 40 as we call it, FoKAB 40 after the number of years, and FoKAB on Saturday the 31st of May at the Cattle Market in Winchester, and the original King Alfred Running Day on Bank Holiday Monday, 5th of May 2025. And hopefully we'll have sunshine for both. Well, here we are at the back of our Albion Victor AAA 756, which dates from 1935. It's 90 years old this year, 2025, and this vehicle has been in preservation for a great deal of its life. It started its career working for Chisnells as really the family limousine, if you like. It was used largely to take parties to the races, and the Chisnells were great racegoers, so it would go often every weekend between its construction in 1935 and the start of the Second World War. 20-seater, rather small, and a petrol engine, so I'm thirsty at that. After the war, for about 5 years, anything that would run, and therefore it was useful. But by 1950, the fleet was being renewed, bigger vehicles coming online, and the Victor was taken downstairs in the Chisnell coach garage, which had a lower deck where vehicles that were no longer used were parked for long-term storage. And there it sat until 1959, when the Rolls brothers came along and asked Mr. Chisnell, did he have a bus to sell? And yeah, he said, go and have a look downstairs. And they selected AAA 756. Took it away, owned it for 2 years. And then in 1961, our member, Dave Hurley, he wasn't a member then, of course, he bought it and he owned it and ran it from 1961 right the way through to 2013. And in the middle of all that, of course, FoKAB was created and Dave Hurley became a member of FoKAB. And in 2013, he said, look, I think it's time that you acquired this vehicle. So it came into our main collection, and we've had it ever since. And as you can see, its body is by E.D. Abbott of Farnham, really rare, and it's quite a special vehicle. We're hoping, it's been off the road for the last year for various reasons, but we're hoping to have it back out again on May the 5th, all being well, and that will be quite an achievement. It's a nice vehicle to ride, and it's got 20 luxurious seats taken from a 1925 Charabanc in the King Alfred fleet that was withdrawn in 1935 and gave its seats over for this. So when you sit back and relax on board 756, you can sense the luxury. One place where you can expect to see this vehicle, even if it doesn't run on the 5th of May, will be at the FoKAB 40 celebrations at the cattle market on Saturday, May the 31st. 90 this year. We'll have a party later in the year to celebrate. Now I'm standing in front of 104, but probably what you're wondering about is where have we got to with our Olympic, JAA 708. If you think that it's 18 months since the fire, it's been some time, hasn't it? But actually we've been using the time quite wisely to work out what we need to do and to get things moving. So the first stage, of course, if you remember, back in the cold of the spring of last year, was to rescue the vehicle out of the destroyed building and transfer it to our base at Winchester, which was successfully done. During the summer, the wheels and axles were removed, cleaned up, repacked and generally put into working order. New tyres, well, they were scrap tyres actually, but workable, usable tyres fitted, and so we could then roll the chassis easily. We used that facility to get it onto a low loader and take it to the Buses Festival at Sywell at the end of the summer, where it was a macabre spectacle, but in some ways the star of the show, where people came to look over the wreck and to tell us what they thought. Well, one person told us in a very clear-cut way by dropping £1,000 in sterling into our top pocket, and very grateful to him. That was a wonderful sort of kick-start to what will be a massive fundraising exercise. But we're not quite there with the fundraising yet. The first stage is to work out what we're going to do. And the trustees of FoKAB last November took the decision that we are indeed going to restore this bus. We're going to rehabilitate it, put it back on the road. And it is very badly damaged, so that's a tall order, a big undertaking. And after due deliberation, we have decided to work with our friend and colleague Andrew Crockett, who has been involved with the Lion, the Dennis, and most recently Leyland Titan 811. He has taken an interest in this project from the beginning, was an early visitor to the vehicle and spent a considerable amount of time poring over it. And he has come forward and will be the project manager for our scheme to rebuild this vehicle. And what we're looking at is a 3-year project program and a cost of up to £500,000, which we're going to have to raise. But we'll come back to that, because the next stage then is that Andy Crockett does his business from the Scottish Vintage Bus Museum at Wythall in Fife. So the Olympic will have to go there for work to start. And that is envisaged quite soon, in the next few weeks. So during the month of May, in all probability, we'll see the Olympic moved from Winchester to Scotland for the work to begin. Now, there is a very significant development which has given us all enormous encouragement, which is that we have access to all the plans of the HR40 Leyland Olympic. Now, thanks to some very considerable foresight, at least one member of the Midland Bus Museum at Wythall, the drawings in the MCW files at Washwood Heath Works, where many vehicles were constructed over the years. When that building closed, the drawings were rescued and taken to the Midland Bus Museum, where the MCW collection was collated and reviewed, and scans made of the enormous plans, which are blueprints really, of lots and lots of vehicles, but including, crucially for us, the HR40 Leyland Olympic. And that chassis and body together in the same vehicle. The drawings therefore exist in the MCW file of everything to do with the HR40 Olympic. Now, during the course of last autumn, that collection was moved from Wythall to the Bus Arichve. It now resides at the Bus Arichve's new facility at Droitwich, where I went a couple of months ago to have a good look at it all. And it's a stunning place anyway, Bus Arichve, but the collection of 150 odd drawings of the Leyland Olympic is really something special, and is an amazing thing to have survived. We have there access to the drawings of every aspect of the Olympic, which will make the job of rebuilding it a great deal more straightforward. Whatever part we need to replicate or rebuild or reconstruct, we have the drawings for it freely available, thanks to the Bus Arichve. And if ever there was something which indicates why the Bus Arichve exists, what it's for, this is a very good example of it. It's going to help us to, well, Andy Crockett in particular and his team, to rebuild this vehicle, and that's a great start. So we will be starting next the fundraising. Wait and see how that's going to come out, but it won't be long. We shall be announcing exactly how that's going to go forward. But we took the steps to decide to start the work and to send the vehicle to Scotland, because we have already some £250,000 committed towards our £500,000 goal. So that's a very significant development, gives us the confidence to start the ball rolling. But we will be coming out to you, the world, to see if you can put your hand in your pocket to help us to do this enormous task. So watch this space, more announcements soon, but 708 is going to be back in business at some point before too long.
It's not coming yet. It's not coming yet. Wait till January. Yes, it's decided.